Hello, hello, hello. In this video, we are celebrating Aries season. So to all my Aries out there, happy birthday. As a fire sign, Aries energy tends to run hot, impulsive, and direct. There is no getting around that. Right to the point. And it is also ruled by Mars, the planet of drive and desire. So the fact that Mars shares a name with the god of war can give the impression that Aries is somehow warlike and maybe aggressive, but that's not necessarily true. You see, Mars symbolizes raw energy instead of creative energy, that pure energy. So, what does that kind of mean? Well, on its negative side, it means that it could make for impatience, maybe forceful, and somewhat impulsive nature. But also, on its plus side, it's adventurous, assertive, and right down forthright and direct. So keep that in mind when you are navigating yourself around Aries. You know, I've always thought that we are all like the planets. Sometimes we draw close to one and sometimes we draw far away. So when you're around an Aries, keep that in mind. As a person, Aries is passionate, motivated, and confident, and can usually be found to take the lead when it comes to creating community with their cheerful disposition and their relentless determination. They have boundless and contagious energy that somehow brings out the best and the true in all of us. And also, Aries people like to move fast. They don't like to sit still very long, so they can be hard to keep up with. Their dynamic and fiercely individualistic vibe is inspiring, and also their impatience is also not their strongest virtue, and often they get frustrated by the minutiae of small details. So, as we enter Aries season, if you are not an Aries, keep in mind that we will be influenced by this dynamic Aries fire sign, as it's asking us to draw into our raw self, to bring that out. You can't polish something when it's kept in the cupboard, so bring the rawness of everything that you have about yourself. Put it out there and dare to try new things, dare to be creative, dare to experience life with passion. All right, now I have here 3 stones that I brought out randomly to kind of see what the vibe is. And interesting how this energy may really play with this Aries season that we're in. So if you are into gems and crystals, you may want to get these if you don't have them. This one gem that I'm showing here is known as lemon chrysoprase, and this helps influence the creative thinking. It also draws energy for self-love, for harmonious relationships, not only personally, but also in business. And it also helps to bring attention to the direction that we're going in life. And it attracts new love, fortune, and prosperity. So it's interesting to see what will be revealed for our Aries. This next stone that I have here is known as Rider-Waite, and I love it. I love purple, it's my favorite color, and I love how the speckled black spots show around it. And the energy that is drawn here with Rider-Waite is to release fear and guilt. So it helps work with this energy of releasing. It is known to be the stone of transformation, and it helps us focus and bring attention to our life purpose, and it encourages creativity. So it's interesting that these 2 stones are of this nature. The 3rd stone that I drew is emerald, and the energy of emerald draws abundance, love, inspiration. Also, it helps bring attention to activating wisdom and promotes friendship, peace, and harmony. So there's a lot of beautiful things. It is said that King Solomon was given an emerald ring, and also the emerald tablets of Thoth are made out of emerald. interesting, right? So let's go on to the reading for this beautiful zodiac Aries. Okay, my darlings, if you are an Aries, go ahead, please comment, share that with me here on the channel. Let's find out what will be in store. So we have the theme, and here will represent what you need to let go of. Here is what still remains. What are you working on still? And here represents what is the new energy that's approaching. We will look into career and money over here at this quadrant. This one will let us look at love and relationship. And over here we'll look at life in general. And we will add this last one. What is the lesson that we need to draw out of this month? Okay. Oh, before I put that away, we will draw another card here to take a little deeper look into these areas. And we will draw one for money. One for love. Life. And if you're interested in finding out what these decks are, please go to the description. I have the names of these decks I'm using. Okay, let's start with what is the theme. Okay, it looks like you're going to be dealing with mundane issues for this upcoming season for you. We start with the number 7, and we have the 7 of Wands. So here we have the 7 of Wands. We'll start with the number 7. In numerology, the number 7 resonates with the vibration of that collective consciousness, spirituality, faith, and wisdom. We saw wisdom being drawn in by the emerald stone here. So now this is confirming that this is part of the energy for our Aries. We're going to need to focus on a lot of things, such as also manifesting and also good fortune, good luck. Remember, lucky 7. So things that you will start will be working and flowing for you. You had some plans and ideas. So this is the theme of initiation, of manifesting, and getting things rolling, because luck is on your side. So also use this period to discern and understand, as with wisdom, there is the desire to seek knowledge. So some of you may be either going back to school or entering some type of course or field that will require you to get more information, more skills. So go ahead and move forward with that, because luck is on your side. A lot of things are falling into place for you. With the 7 of Wands, as you see this person here putting like a stick in between them and this situation here. So could it be that maybe you need to set boundaries in your relationship, or maybe you're fighting for this relationship or fighting to preserve it? Maybe at work, and we'll see this later here in health and career, but here at work, this theme here is saying you're going to be fighting for things. Could be relationship, could it be at work, there's competition and you're facing some challenges, and maybe when it comes to money, you're protecting, your financial stability. So looking at just the symbols here, it seems that this season for Aries, you are, and you see the color green, we saw the emerald here as well. So this energy here is about trying to maintain the peace, trying to keep your financial ground. So there's a lot of things here that you're fighting for. And it seems that this season for you is going to be one where you are really working towards preserving. And there may be a struggle, to maintain this, to maintain your values, to maintain your position, to deal with what's here. And it's not about, turning away. This is about facing forward the situation. And as it is revealed with the emerald, you will have success. Let's take a look at what is it that you need to let go of, Aries. Okay, so we have the 3 of Cups, and we also have the Knight of Pentacles. So when we first look at this as the number 3 and the number 12, interesting, let's note that this being the core thing that's kind of leaving, letting go, moving away. And then we have the Knight, which I've mentioned in previous videos, to me represents the number 12. Coincidentally, 1 plus 2 is 3. Hence, we have this number kind of repeating itself twice, kind of, hey, confirming this needs to go, whatever this may be. Even though when we see it here as this 3 of Cups, it looks like a celebration. It looks like something from the past, something that had been in your life that was good, or something positive is now seeing its way out, that it's kind of cycled through and it's setting forth. Or maybe something that was resolved and now just it's a new chapter that's kind of, entering your life as this one is closing. And when we see the number 3, the vibrations are about communication, about expansion, creativity, adventure, abundance, manifesting. All these things are part of this. And it could have been that there's this phase, this particular phase where this expansion was happening in your life in this particular area is now come to, as you know, or maybe felt, or you have studied, that life is in cycles. So if we prepare for the cycles, we know that when a cycle has been here at the top, we know that there is by nature will be a drop because there will be a rise. It's just nature itself. And I will, in some future video, talk about the highs and lows, the ups and downs in the law of nature, which is really important for us to understand these cycles for ourselves so we're not caught off guard. What we do is that as these low cycles come in, which we're going to see what's going to be revealed for you here, Aries, is are you going to be entering now the low cycle? And what does that mean? I don't know. We'll see what's going to be here. With the number 12, it carries both the blend of the number 1 and 2, meaning, those energies that talk about those new beginnings, which apparently this had been part of something that had started, and perhaps now that we're here, it's in this particular sector here, talking about that this may be a chapter, a relationship, a group, something that had to do with others. This particular chapter, this partnership, this relationship may be now finished. And it did not end in a bad way. It's just a chapter that is finished. Because with the number 2, it talks about that life purpose. So if this was a soulmate relationship and you're like, well, why is this ending? Well, Aries, it's because there are different types of soulmates that come into our lives. They're not just romantic soulmates. There are so many soulmates that we make partnerships with so that we can share valued lessons. So then when we look at this as that number 12, it's talking about cycles and experiences. So I see this now coming through as this is about, that whole cycle and helping you now understand that you've reached everything that you needed to get out of this situation or out of this relationship. And here we have now this nice blend of these two numbers coming together, the 1 and the 2, forming the 3, letting you know that this has achieved what it needed to do for you. And so with the number 12, it tells you to look at new experiences, look towards the future with optimism, and new energies will allow to come in place of what was there before, expanding at a new level. Okay, let's take a look at what is remaining in your life. Interesting. We have here the 8 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacles are showing up here, Aries. Keep in mind that this was reversed. So we look at the number 8 as the energy and the influence and vibration. So normally the number 8 is about manifesting. It's about authority, confidence, and personal power, and wealth, and all these things that have to do with abundance and manifesting and inner wisdom. So we see again the emerald energy coming through for prosperity. This is also the same energy that we have from the lemon chrysoprase. So now what is the issue as what is currently you're dealing with? So being that this is in reverse, it seems that there may be some issues that have to do with this confidence, with this abundance, with this prosperity, with manifesting. So it could be something in your material world. It could be financial, could be career, could be something with real estate, anything that has to do with the material part. And then when we see the number 2, and we talked about the number 2 as being that duality, bringing this balance here. The number 2 resonating with also service and balance and diplomacy. And so we see this. What does it mean when you have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the 2 of Pentacles showing up saying, hey, could it be confirming the situation that you're trying to keep things together? So Aries, it looks like as you're approaching this season for yourself, you're really juggling a lot of things. Could it be partnerships? Could it be relationships? Could it be the things that you want to move forward with in your life? You know, because the number 2 also refers to that divine life purpose and your mission here, what it is. And you're kind of trying to keep things together, trying to just continue to move forward. And also, this is also when we look at this number 8 here, as it draws upon the situation here that you're working through, it's asking you to have courage and faith and trust that you do have universal guidance here, that you're not alone, and that as you put forth your prayers or your dreams and you work towards them, meticulously, because it looks like here you've lost that faith, but now you're being saying, it's important that you keep that balance. It's not going to come from outside of you. You need to make that choice. You need to make that statement for yourself. So now when we look at this symbol in reverse, but again, as we see here, we see a person that looks like they have skills, they have confidence, they know how to handle the tools and the skills that are given to them, and they're working on it, and they're able to display, they're able to show, and there's still more things coming. And we see stability here in the background. So this person seems to have everything they need. But what happens when we see this in the reverse? Well, something is off. That's why this balance is showing up. And you need to be very careful. You need to employ all your diligence and your dedication and all the knowledge you have at the task at hand. You cannot be scattered all over the place. And as Aries, we know that you become impatient. You need to draw upon the patience to get the task done. And don't avoid something just because you don't like it or because it's uncomfortable. This is the time that you need to find the balance to move forward in the best way that helps you reveal what needs to get done and handle it, responsibly, whether it's your relationship or work. So it's important also, as we take a look at this on the more obvious side, like finances, we see pentacles, we see gold here, we see money. So it's about not being delusional about what is really happening with your finances. And while we see the lucky energy here, not only from the first gem and the second one here, it looks like you've had luck on your side. Luck is there. Use everything else to take advantage of that leverage that's happening right now to keep going so that when the cycle comes down, you're ready to handle that situation. Okay, what is the new energy that's showing up in your life, Aries? More Pentacles in reverse and the King of Swords. Let's take a look at the first issue here, which is the 10 of Pentacles. Keep in mind that this did show up in reverse. With the number 10, we have the energies of 1 and 0 combined. 1 is about those new beginnings, about progress and achieving success, and a reminder that we create our own realities with our own beliefs and our own intentions, backed by what? Our actions. The number 0 is associated with that universal source, our God, that creator. And so all of this energy is magnified by this with that 0 in front of it. So as we sense this, and we have seeing it now in reverse, what does it mean as we're looking at the new energy coming? There may be some situations as we see this person here surrounded by family and all these things around us, our real estate, our community, but it is in the reverse. Could it be that there will be some issues in the future that you will have to pay close attention, because the number 10 completely refers to following your intuition. The number 10 in its natural upside down form talks about receiving guidance, following your intuition, following those ideas and thoughts and nudgings you get. So be very, very particular with issues that are coming in the future as it relates to family, community, your home, in that area, and have faith and trust that the path will be there for you. That fear is not part of the equation. As we see here, then, it's confirmed here that this is all made up in your mind. So as a man thinketh, so is he. What are the thoughts that you're going to be entertaining? For me, the king represents the number 14. So we have the dual energy blend of the number 1 and 4. The number 1, all about initiative, new projects, attaining things and success, while the number 4 refers to those goals, those aspirations. It talks about also the practicality and integrity, foundations. So when we blend the number to create that number 14, this is about staying focused. It's about unity. It's also about self-initiating with enthusiasm. So we see this here as we pay close to the energy of the number 14, urging us to stay focused. And remember what we just saw here early with the number 10, our faith. And that faith is as strong as our mind, the sharpness of the mind. And then we know that the sword has a double edge. So be very, very cognizant of your thoughts and your words. So now let's go to the symbols. The symbols here, the symbols we have, the pentacles are all falling down. You know, people are no longer having the foundation, you know, at their feet like they're in dream world. They're not seeing things for what they truly are. So this is a kind of as you move into the future, moving forward, moving on, it's important to address your financial situation, to kind of pay close attention to your finances. These may be the issue that's the theme right now and could be drastically affected by your decisions that you make now. So while we can enjoy the short-term success, it's important that you harness and focus on your long-term goals. Take a step back and evaluate whether the decisions that you're making now are going to help you or hurt you in the future. Then let's take a look at the King of Swords. In this deck, the King of Swords to me resonates with so much peace and beauty. We see butterflies, what appears to be half moons. You see him flowing in the blue that he is able to communicate what he receives in the mind. And that mind is like that rod receiving information from divine source here. And you see him, he's got a power ring that he shows that he has mastered and has earned this rightful place here. The throne that he sits on is no whimsy throne. It has a feeling that it's made out of concrete. We also see with the birds, messengers, you know, coming through, and nature, the foundation here, so beautiful as his beautiful robe seems to almost, as illusion, blend in with the water that's in the background. And so it's a communion with earth and heaven. So here, as we see this message, what does it mean as we talk about the future? That as you think you are, the things that make you strong are the things that you hold in your heart, and that you have had success in the past and you will have success in the future as long as you entertain the best and highest thoughts, because you have felt that you have this responsibility to care for others around you, and you have that ability. That power is with you. Stay strong in your mind. Don't let the news, the negative media, other people's naysayers to discourage your true purpose. Follow your intuition. The 10 is about faith in something higher taking care of your path. Okay, money and career. Oh, okay, so we had this very similar theme here that we saw in the beginning with the wands, and that is the main theme, working towards something. So now in the area of more of the mundane issues here, we'll see how these others are going to play out. But the 5 of wands is here, and we'll draw our attention to the number 5. And the number 5 resonates with the energy of personal freedom, non-attachment. It's about life lessons, experiences, adapting to different things, releasing and surrendering. And all of this opens you up for expansion and opportunity. Number 5 is a visionary. It opens up to seeing and being courageous. So we see this here in the sense that while there may be this struggle here, there is strength in either leading the cause or standing up for what you believe in. That's just by looking at the number 5 as it applies to the image. So as we move on, Aries, this season may ask you to bring forth the best of yourself. And we see that sense here with creativity showing up in the gems that showed up. And let's remember, with these gems here, we have also like a window into this energy for you, Aries. With Lemon Christ of Faith, it's all about also that life direction. Go, where are you going now in this next chapter? And when we were with Rider-Waite, we also have this thing about releasing the fear, but also staying focused with our life purpose. So very interesting how these gems are resonating with the energy that we see here in this information and the symbols in the images here. So again, we see that confirmed when it comes to your money, your finances, or with your career, that you need to stay resolved. There may be some conflict. You may be fighting for something. You may be trying to maintain a secure hold on your finances or even on your career. A possible layoff is coming and you're trying to avert that and, doing your best to put your, best foot forward in front of all this conflict that is showing up. And if it's not conflict at work, it's just conflict in the general collective vibe, the feeling of distress that is being felt by a collective group. And the thing is that despite the fact that Aries have very limited patience in their cupboards, you will need to find the strength and the courage to listen to others. Because you see, right now, this situation that may be happening, all these people want to be heard. That's all, like a 3-year-old. And if you're aware of this, you can find the courage to not be a part of that vibe, but to step back and say, okay, let's hear them out. Let's see what's happening. And once this communication starts to flow, we begin to see things from a different perspective and are able to begin to find a resolution to this challenge. So let's see what this other card is saying. So you see, even though card is right side up, it's talking about a struggle. And I'm just looking at this candle upside down. It's like, if you don't put light into the situation, you can't see what the problem is. So let's take a look what it's telling us. Ambition, taking action. Hustle, manifest money. Management, high rank, visibility, and athletic. So we see these things showing up and it's resonating here. So in the areas of money and career, it's time to take action. Okay, let's take a look at love and relationship. It's a lot of pentacles are in this draw here. So far we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pentacles show up. Okay, so what we have here is the number 9, which resonates with universal love, with faith, with service to humanity, spiritual awakening. There's a lot more here going on with this number 9. As we've gone through that journey, we've gone through a lot of things, which somehow I feel that this situation has something to do with closing this chapter as we get to that number 9, where the number 1 represents the beginning of something. Here, the number 9 is confirming that, we've learned something from this relationship and now it's a chapter that's closing. And we have learned so much that we can now stay focused on the bigger things in life. So that's really interesting. That's that. So now let's take a look at the symbols itself. We see here a person that is just surrounded by things that feel opulence. You have the grapevines with the grapes in ready for harvest. We see the pentacles, just gold, just everywhere, and everything that she touches, as you could see, it's with her bare hand. And she also bears the ring that she has the power to wield and manifest things, because what she touches turns to gold. Maybe she's touching all the little grapes and they're turning to gold. And then she has this messenger, and she's very careful with the messages she gets, because you see she has the glove protecting herself from this message. So as we move into this message, we'll take a look at what does this mean for you. But here we see a lot of good things through the Nine of Pentacles. So it could mean that, you are confident in your relationship and you feel very satisfied. You enjoy everything that comes with it, the comforts, the love, and whatever else can be enjoyed from this relationship. So there's a lot of freedom, there's a lot of joy, and a lot of, what can I say, comfort. But let's see how this message relates with this. So here we have a tree, and we have a lot of symbols here. Ankh, the infinity symbol, the star, the yin and yang, and the heart at the base. And we see some leaves that are made out of heart. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. So when we look at this and we see the gems that we have come forth, this is resonating with a love energy, a chapter that's finished, and a new love that may be coming in, as is interpreted here with the lemon chrysoprase, because it also is ushering new love. So interesting. Okay, let's take a look at life in general. Ace of Cups. Aries, in the area of life, we see here the Ace of Cups. And it's in reverse. And for a minute, let's just consider the number 1, which is attributed to the energy of those new beginnings. It vibrates with those things that motivate us to move forward, to progress, and to have that willpower to do things. But it also has to do with that raw energy, which you are so comfortable in being in. So there's going to be a holdup, and there's going to be like a vacuum in this area. And I believe that it has to do with this new love coming in, this relationship. And it's also like a way that, because there's some things that you're struggling, you're almost like feeling like, how am I going to create this? Understanding that the harness of your future is happening in the decisions of the now. You're creating your reality. If you want to be happy, jump up and down and tell yourself, I'm going to be happy, and then find out what areas of your life you're not, and decide how to move forward. If you're not fulfilled, decide what it is that you're not fulfilled in, and realize that you are the one that can create these realities. That's what this message is reminding you, that your emotions are not in the hands of anybody else. They're in your hands. So now let's take a look at the symbol itself, as we see the water, for some unknown reason, is not able to flow down. You see, it's almost like blocked. It's almost as if this faith, this connection to your inner self is somehow cut off, and only you can bring that forward. Where did we see this before also? Wisdom from the emerald. Following your intuition came through the number 10 here in reverse. So we see 2 very critical cards here, giving you a little jolt to pay attention to your voice, to your inner voice, to your intuition, to the signs that, the universal mind is trying to share with you, so that you can go on with your life purpose and open up the creativity that somehow may be blocked. So when we focus on the symbols now, we see that the flow is not happening. There is a loss. Perhaps something that has meant a lot to you is no longer giving you this happiness, or perhaps this thing that is finished, while you may want to hold on to it, it's no longer there, and you cannot move forward if you don't make peace with this, whether it was good or bad. But what I see here, it was something good, and it was just a chapter that needed to end. And until you make peace with that, you're not going to be able to allow this divine waters, that heal you, that fill you, to do what it's intended to do. So as you kind of come to peace and even accept that it's okay to be sad, it's okay to feel this loss. It is part of who we are. And as we embrace it and acknowledge it and sit in it for a little bit, we are now being fulfilled And this can be reversed by acknowledging the sadness, the emptiness, that this is a phase in your life that was and has made you who you are today. There's other great things to come as long as you're okay to open your heart so your cup can be filled again. So let's see which one is represented. And it says here houses. So we have the 12 houses. Let's see which one it's going to be for you. And this is in asking you for action. Okay, so we have the 11th house. And interesting how we have birds here. And we have here birds here and also the king in the future. Birds, two birds, two birds. Interesting. The 11th house in astrology is about our friendships. It's about our hopes and dreams, our relationships to the collective whole. So we see here about relationships. We saw that here. We saw also here with the relationship, whether you're fighting to preserve this relationship or you're standing up to the situation in this relationship, whatever that may mean as a group or a career or business. And then we saw that where else? We saw that here in the area of career and business. We saw that also. And then we saw this here in the future where it was more intimate as personal and family and maybe community. So there is an issue here that the 11th house, Aries, is asking you to draw into this energy, to focus this energy that you have on in the 11th house of friendships, in relationships. And it's also about, the humanity, your service to humanity, which I recall we heard that here earlier as well. So don't be surprised if this is the theme that's pushing the season for Aries right now. And remember that we, the other signs, may be influenced by this as well. So what is it that you need to do in the spiritual? You need to do something for humanity's sake. Maybe you would like to get involved in some charity work itself. I mean, literally, that you get involved in some charity work, whether it's helping clean up the oceans or whether it's something local in your community for food drive or working with children or civic groups and community. Find something where you physically get there and do something for humanity's sake. In the mental, it's about your hopes and wishes. And we saw this here with the king about it's all in your mind. And you have to make sure that you crystallize, Aries. You need to crystallize what it is that you want. What are your hopes? One of the biggest reasons that maybe 80%, so I've heard, I don't remember where I heard this from, but 80% of us, why we don't manifest is because we don't know what we want. We're not clear about what we want. We flip-flop about what we want. And the flipping and flopping contradicts itself constantly. So basically we're left with nothing. And we're just kind of, like a rolling stone, just rolling and rolling. And then we said we want this, but then later, well, we don't want that. We want this. And it's important that we crystallize, especially Aries, your hopes and wishes. And in the physical, do it for the future. And remember we're talking about making decisions. Make sure that the decisions you make now have a positive impact for the future. This is not right now about your short-term success, your short-term happiness. It is about thinking long-term for the future. Okay, and the last card is, what's the lesson for Aries? More pentacles. Okay, so we see an evolution here. We see the evolution of the knight going out there for the kingdom and finalizing things. We see the instability that of, getting the drive and, getting skills, getting knowledge, but finding the balance. We saw the imbalance that may be in the future with the family, with the home life, but we need to kind of get a grasp of that financially. And then we saw this again in this area of love and relationship. And now the overall theme has to do with getting a grasp on this. Let's look at the numerology aspect of the Queen of Pentacles. To me, as I've mentioned in previous videos, 13 to me represents the Queen. And she has the attributes of the number 1 and 3, those vibrations of new beginnings, moving forward in progress, attaining things, and the uniqueness and individuality that comes with the number 1. Then you have the vibration of the number 3, which is about growth, expansion, optimism, and creativity, which we saw this also message coming through with the stones that were randomly drawn. Then we also have the incorporation of the number 13 itself. The number 13 in numerology being described as a feminine number attributed to this queen, of course, then how perfect. So it's asking us to draw from our feminine pool and use that energy of creativity to help us get through some of the things that we want to move forward in, whether it's challenging, whether it's business or relationship. Use that feminine energy to move forward and touch, metaphorically, the things that we're doing. So here, this message is about that there may be some upheavals, which we see here and we saw here. There may be some upheavals, and we saw here as well. And we need to kind of, see things for what they are, because these things are happening for a karmic reason, lessons that need to be learned. And we need to break through this so that we can go into new territories and open up the new opportunities that are there for us. So the lesson is embrace the situations, bring forth all of who we are, and draw. So it doesn't matter if you're what physical part you were born with, draw onto this, the female energy, touch it with that energy, and you will see some incredible blessings begin to manifest in your life. And as we close this out, Aries, let's use this deck here. Let's get the last final message for Aries. And here we go. Let's get the final message for Aries as we close out this session. Ha! What? Beautiful. I trust the wisdom within. I trust the wisdom within. And we had wisdom. We had wisdom here in our emerald. I trust the wisdom within. A message that has been revealed here several times, and that is the final message for Aries. Happy birthday. Make sure before you head out to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, especially your Aries friends. Be blessed.